Hello. So I'm making this small bonus episode now because there's a lot of new stuff I want to talk about to you. Um, I got this. Actually, I got it 1.5 years ago. It's a notebook or a notebook folder. I'm not sure what you call it actually. It's from the brand Paper Republic. It's a Swiss brand, so they're handmade and very, very nice. Real leather, of course, uh, and they're just very, very nice and customizable because they have these rubber bands on the inside, so you can put any notebooks in there. So I'm I made a few innovations after playing the last time, and it's all to make it more easy or more practical, but also um, just to be with some nice materials. Um, because of course you can play with all kinds of materials, but if you got nice materials in your hands, it's just a nice experience. So that's what I want to do. And leather is just one of those nice materials, just like metal or wood or stone or ceramics or whatever. Uh, the feeling of nature. So, first of all, it has these pockets on the inside, in the front and in the back, and I put all the tables in there. They are all the cutout tables from Mythic GM Emulator 2nd edition. So I got all these, not all the tables, but the tables that are the most useful. Also the big fate chart. So they can all fit nicely in here. Of course, when I play, I would just put them on the table so they are within reach. And then there's my armory or my stash where I put my stuff, which is the room at Alma's house in the campaign, in the adventure about Tristan. I also keep it in here. And then I actually took a table from the Walking Dead role-playing game from Free League, which runs on the Year Zero engine and is a very nice and also very narrative system. And it has solo rules in the back. And I remembered that it had this table, so I made it myself in Word because I don't have the PDF. So it's relative building size. So if I encounter some building, it could be the cabin in the swamp, it could be a castle, whatever. You would roll 1d6, and it would then, because if I just say the word castle, you will have a picture of a castle in your head. Then I would roll the d6, and it says 6, so that's larger than normal. So now you imagine a big castle, a castle that is larger than normal. So yeah, I think it's a neat little table to transform the picture you have in your head, which is quite fascinating, I think, actually. And it's so easy, and I haven't seen it anywhere else. Oh yeah, by the way, this nice die. I also had it before, but I think I might want to use it for treasure. So it's treasure or coins, weapons, torch, a book, which is a spell book or some other book, food or rations, and potions. So it's very nice. I think it's a bit nicer than this one, the D8, although this has got more stuff on it, like weapon and armor, actually, and coin, magic item, I think, magic jewelry or just jewelry in general, potions, magic scrolls, and gems. I don't know. I might use a combination of these. So they're now in here. Yeah, back to the notebook. I bought this very cheap notebook and wrote Knave 2E solo on it. Whether you buy a cheap notebook or an expensive notebook, you have to break it in. You have to write on it or in it, because you can. There's an equivalent of the BFG syndrome, if you've heard of that. you probably know the game Doom from the 90s, and there's a big gun in Doom called the BFG. And it's very powerful, but it doesn't have a lot of ammunition. So the BFG syndrome happens, and that means that you don't use it ever because you have to save those precious bullets. So you end up having this big gun with you the entire game without ever using it, and suddenly you finished the game without it. And it's the same with expensive notebooks. I have some. They came with this notebook from Paper Republic. They're very nice, and I just used them for some Walking Dead solo and other stuff. Because you can end up having nice notebooks that you never use. And well, I just bought a cheap one. It's a bit more easy then. And into this cheap notebook, which actually fitted very nice in this, I put the threads list and the character list. I just cut it out from the big paper, because the last time I played I had all these big pieces of paper, and I don't like the feeling of loose paper sheets. I think it feels boring somehow. So I just glued them in here. Now I have them for this adventure, Tristan's Quest for Artifacts and Love. And on the next pages I have the scenes. I just cut them out and put them in here. And then I can take notes on the side. I could write the current chaos factor. So here, chaos factor. I didn't write it down because I just have this big die hanging around it down here. So chaos factor 5. And I put in some more. Maybe glued together some of the pages. I don't know. It's okay. For a lot of scenes. And I can just add more after that. And I can write stuff and whatever I want. And look at that. The middle of the notebook is actually very nice. It's so beautiful. Okay, so the next interesting thing, which I have in the back of this. First off, I have this cheap notebook also, where I put some monsters, some monster conversions from Dark Souls. I converted them to Knave. It's not very readable because the dots are too, what do you call it? It's not that easy to read, right? But, well, it gets the job done just for loose notes and a small monsters collection for this Knave game I'm currently playing. And then I also have this notebook. It also fits inside. It's a bit longer. And I just had some thoughts about which Knave campaign I wanted to run and which elements from other games I would incorporate and something about magic. I don't know if I'll use it, but now it's here if I need it. And then I also took the big character sheet. This is from the book, from the main Knave book. Somewhere in the back. I love this book. I really love it. Oh yeah, on page 75 you have the character sheet. Normally I would go into the PDF and print page 75 onto A5 paper. That's actually half the size of this. This is A4. Now I just have some A4 because I had some loose, some used paper. So there's stuff on the back. Whenever from work, whenever I have a paper I'm finished with, I put it next to my printer so I can print on the back of it. So I have a lot of extra paper. But this time I didn't make it bigger. I actually made a smaller version, which is even smaller than the book. And the book is around A5. So I made it smaller. And I took half of it. I took a screenshot of this and put it on a page. And then I took a screenshot of the inventory and put it on another page. And then I had 6 of each. So I had them like this next to each other on the page. 6 pieces on one page, and then I printed and then 6 pieces of this on the other page, and it's not perfect aligned, but I think it gets the job done. Next time I'll do it a bit more nice somehow. But then you actually have this, I have this character sheet now that is the size of an index card, even though it has the inventory. This would be enough. For NPCs, this is enough. But for a character, you also need the inventory, right? So they're so nice. I think they're so cool. I considered buying some online to get them printed on postcards. But that would be expensive, so I just tried it out. I had this thick brown paper from a thrift store. I found just a bunch of thick paper in all kinds of colors. So I'm using that also for the mythic tables. They are also printed on different kinds of nice paper. So it just has a very nice feel to it. So I have a lot of spare character sheets in the back of this. So yeah, and I haven't converted this guy yet, the Maiden, but I did take the picture of the Tristan one and filled in one of the small character sheets. So now I have the character Tristan on one of those. It's so cool. And the big picture still fits. Of course you can't put that many notes like you can here. You can put the picture and then a lot of notes, but this looks so cool, I think. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing yesterday. I can put this aside. Yeah, so I can actually fit a lot of the campaign into this book, and I could theoretically bring it places. It doesn't have room for dice really, because then you could put it somewhere, but then they would fall out, I guess. So I'm working on that to get some kind of bag for everything where this can be put inside and where I can put dice inside. Oh yeah, and the spare parts from some of the paper, I just keep it and put it into this nice box I found at my workplace in the basement. Very old. I'll just put it in here, because then I'm building this archive, like the Butcher from Dark Souls, which I used in a game before. Also a solo game on one of the videos actually. So the blanks I'll just put in the back, and then they are in alphabetical order. So B for Butcher and whatever. I don't have that many, but it will become some kind of bestiary someday. And also characters from other games. Yeah, I have these. Instead of index card, I can use these. They came with something some while ago. And I also have these plain cards with nothing on them. I can also use those. And I have these are actually from chocolate. There's some cardboard cards and some blank postcards from an office shop that were on discount. So yeah, I've got enough cards and index cards and stuff to make a lot of monsters and characters, which is so nice. And also, of course, this old material is so cool. Okay. Then I also got this. It's something a bit different. It's a video game system from Anbernic, the RG35XXSP, and it looks like this. And it's actually a Linux computer, and it can run all kinds of emulators like Super Nintendo, PlayStation 1, Game Boy Advance, stuff like that. And it came in this nice box, so I might use the box as well for maybe for character sheets or whatever. And I actually want to, because this device also can play video files, I'd love to just have it here when I play solo. It could be in the background somewhere, and that could be I wanted the bonfire from Dark Souls just to play in a loop, or maybe something else, some video loop of some kind. So I'll be working on that as well. Then I also found the box, which I couldn't found last time. Dungeon Craft, over 1,000 plus map pieces, and it's a lot. It's very nice. It's sheets of paper and you have to cut them out yourself, but then you have these nice pieces, like this broken bridge, or this not so broken bridge, and then you can put it onto battle maps, the big ones where you draw yourself, or this big book of battle maps. So maybe I should just demonstrate it. I haven't really been using it, I just cut some of them out, not many. So I take this, find some random picture, like this ruin site. Maybe there isn't a bridge at the ruin site, but then maybe there's this guy. And they fit the squares on these standard things. And here's a column. So, and it has all kinds of stuff, like this knight. And yeah, it has so many, so many sheets. It's very, very big, with rivers and dungeon rooms and treasure rooms, houses, I don't know, rooms with crates in them, coffins, tombs, this little wagon, it could be over here, I don't know. So you could just build scenery to play in. I haven't done it that much yet, but then you can have your miniatures or meeples. It doesn't have to be complicated. I'm not, I'm never getting into the stuff with painting miniatures and stuff. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know. I tried it sometimes, but it never caught my interest really. Okay, so that was a quick update. I think that was it. But please like and subscribe and watch the next video, because then I think I will return to the adventure. Yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.